Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of Ringside Recap with me, Amit from At the World of Amit. This week, let's do a quick recap of what happened in Raw and SmackDown. Let's go. So this week's Raw and SmackDown was all about the King and Queen of the Ring matches. So this tournament has been pushed a lot since few weeks, and all the matches on this tournament has been super amazing. So we kicked off SmackDown with the Bianca Belair vs Stratton match. Funnily enough, uh, Tiffany Stratton was actually cheered on, even though she was a heel. So she's been super good in the ring so far. But I think this match was also very good, where I think the idea was to just sell the fact that Bianca Belair was having this knee trouble. I'm not sure how true or not true this is, but both of them are amazing athletes. So this was a very good match. Uh, and I wasn't sure who was going to go forward, considering that they could be facing there could be a potential Bianca versus Jade match after this as well. So I wasn't sure who's going to win, uh, but I think yeah, even though Tiffany was cheered by the crowd for all her sort of antics, she still lost this match, and Bianca got the victory. So all in all, a very good match. Nice to kick off Raw. Now I don't know what's going to happen with Tiffany Stratton because she's taken a loss. Uh, we'll see. I mean, if she gets into a new feud or what happens with Tiffany Stratton. Like I wish. I mean, there's so much talent in the women's division right now. So please, Triple H, if you're listening to this, which I'm sure you are, please get a new championship belt within the women's division, right? So I am sure a lot of women wrestlers deserve at least some title and another storyline behind the title. Um, so after this, we had a couple of backstage segments. Uh, we had Logan Paul having like a stare off with LA Knight. So I don't know whether this is WWE planting seeds for a potential US title match in the future. Please get the title off Logan Paul and put it on LA Knight, because the title needs more screen time, and I think we've had enough of a reign from Logan Paul, which has not been that great, to be honest. Uh, so, like I said, I think the next match in the Queen's Queen's Ring of the Top, I mean, King and Queen of the Ring tournaments match was Jade versus Nia. So potentially Bianca and Jade coming in. But yeah, we had a match later on in the evening to discuss that, and let's see whether they take a injury angle for Bianca in that case. Um, we also had a segment with Solo continuing to say that he's speaking to Roman Reigns. We don't know how true this is. Paul Heyman is just super awesome, always seeming concerned that his wise man. I mean, Roman Reigns is not speaking to his wise man, but Solo is. I just think that Solo is just taking leadership without Roman's approval. So let's see what happens when Roman finally comes in, right? Uh, so yeah, I think the next match was basically LA Knight versus Tama Tonga. So before he came in, there was a segment with Carmelo Hayes, uh, where Carmelo Hayes was talking smack, and kind of LA Knight just murdered him with his mic skills. So there's a point in time where he said, "Go play with somebody else. I have more important work." So LA Knight is just super cool with his mic skills. On his so he was on his way to the match, and then we had the LA Knight versus Tama Tonga match, which was another King of the Ring tournament match, quarterfinals. Tama Tonga is like a crazy maniac. He's been presented amazingly by the WWE so far. I mean, to be fair, even though he's presented so amazingly, he takes a lot of bumps. Similar was this match as well, even though he is kind of being shown as the psychotic animal. He takes a lot of bumps, and all his victories have been by bloodline interference, right? So either Solo comes into the ring apron and tries to distract enemies or whatever, but he has not got a clean, proper win so far, and his sort of move has not been so great as well. He has a space buster kind of a move. I like his presentation, but I would like to see more of his wrestling capability as well. But yeah, I think Tamatonga won because of bloodline distraction, and then he moves on to the men's tournament as well. So we'll have an interesting match as to who progresses to the uh, finals, or the winner of the SmackDown side of the tournament. So after the segment, we had Logan Paul coming in for the contract signing with Cody. I like this segment a lot, but there was a weird twist in the segment. So once Cody came in and everybody was trying to sign the contract, so again, Cody was trying to say that Logan is not a real fan. He's like he doesn't know much about. He's just a tourist, but not really a fan of the wrestling and stuff like this. But then uh, he'll finally become a Grand Slam champion when he wins the US title, and bring back the sort of double champion era of Cody, right? So but then what happened is Logan Paul is not putting the title on the line, which I have mixed feelings about. So on one hand, I feel that if the title goes to Cody, it's not going to be so nice, but then it's not nice with Logan Paul as well. So I don't know what happens to the US title now, but I'm I'm kind of mixed with the fact that US title is not on the line right now. Uh, but yeah, the whole sequence was where, I mean, the Cody was like, okay, fine, you're not putting the title on the line. I'll still defend my title against you. So so it's in the King and Queen of the Ring tournament in Saudi Arabia. Now it's just going to be a match for the undisputed title match. There's 99.9% chance that Cody retains, unless there's like some miraculous thing where Logan wins the title and he's somehow a double champion now, which I don't see happening. If that happens, that's going to be something to discuss, right? That's going to be a pretty controversial decision from Triple H. Uh, yeah, so I think we'll see what happens within the Saudi Arabia match. But yeah, it's a non-title match right now, so I don't know whether Logan loses by some sort of disqualification or something like this. Let's see what happens. But looking forward to the match though. So it'll be a wonderful match, I think, between Logan and Cody. It'll be something to look forward to. So after this segment, we had the sort of other bracket of the Queen of the Ring tournament on the women's division in SmackDown. So we had Jade versus Nia Jax, both of whom have had, I think, critics on their wrestling capabilities, but Nia Jax has been super impressive since she's come, and Jade as well has been amazing since since her debut in WWE. So I was expecting an awesome match and see who really wins, but then unfortunately it turned out to be a very weird match where somehow Jade's daughter was involved, and Jade just lost it and got herself disqualified by smashing Nia with a chair. So now it's not going to be Jade versus Bianca in the semifinals, but it's going to be Nia Jax versus Bianca Belair. So I'm 90% sure now that, okay, Bianca is going to go through because Jade has got herself disqualified, and she might want to take revenge against Nia. I don't know how this goes, right? So I was actually rooting for Jade because I was thinking if Bianca Jade happens, then we're going to get a beautiful sort of heel turn from Jade or Bianca, and then they're going to go through for SummerSlam or WrestleMania, right? But maybe it still happens. We don't know. But yeah, this match got over pretty quickly, and then we just had Nia going into the semifinals. So after this, it was a tag team match between DIY and Legado del Fantasma. So it seemed like a match which didn't have any feud. They just got a match together. But I suppose we need to start doing something with the tag team champions, both on Raw and SmackDown. It seems to be on a downward trajectory after the amazing ladder match in WrestleMania, right? So let's see what happens with DIY. So the DIY won the match, by the way, and they're gonna face A Town Down Under for the tag team championship in the near future. Again, not sure who wins this match, but it'll be an interesting match. But I feel like there's going to be a new faction coming through, and it's going to be something related to the Wyatt family. We again had these weird QR codes coming to the screen, just flickering through the screen during the match, and the commentators even addressed it. They showed a small little clip of some women trying to take some psychiatrist interview from some person. So I don't know whether this is linked to the faction which is going to come up. Super excited about what this is going to be. Is it going to be a Wyatt family thing? Is it going to be something new? But I think eventually they get the tag team championships, right? So I think that's what happens with this down the line. But yeah, I think watch this space. It's going to be something interesting. After that, we had a very weird segment with AJ. So I don't know whether he is now back to a baby face, because I almost felt bad for him the way he was talking about how he was that close to getting a victory in Saudi Arabia, that close to beating Randy Orton. Just kind of gone back on the line, back of the queue right now. So I don't know what happens to AJ right now, right? So he needs a feud where he wins, but I don't know whether now he is a heel or he is a face, because I think everyone loves AJ, but then he's just pissed off at everyone right now. So I don't know what happens with AJ. So let's see who he faces, right? So, or what happens with AJ? Maybe he takes a break. I don't know, but he's been pushing a lot of stars lately and not getting a lot of wins. So, yeah, let's look out for what happens to AJ. I hope he does something good. Then we finally end up to the main event of the night, which was Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes, which is another quarterfinal match. Randy Orton is getting amazing ovations now, even though he's been like a horrible heel over the years. He is now a baby face. He's so over with the crowd. So he got a super ovation when he came. So methodical in the way he has these matches. He's called the Viper for a reason. And Carmelo Hayes as well. What an athlete! He had some nice moves here. He's also playing a nice heel after he's come to SmackDown. Overall, a super match. Again, another beautiful RKO from the top rope. While Hayes was jumping from the ropes towards Orton, he got an RKO, and then he got the victory against Carmelo Hayes. This was a very nice match. And then when he won, we had the whole interference from the Bloodline, where I think Randy was trying to say that, okay, fine, Bloodline, you guys have taken out my partner Kevin Owens. Now it's my time to take revenge, right? So again, very interesting as to who is going to win the SmackDown bracket of Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga. It feels like Randy Orton is going to win this feud. Maybe I'm wrong, because I think they're pushing this new bloodline, right? So again, I don't know if distraction wins, something happens, Kevin Owens comes back, something or the other is going to happen, I think, before we see the winner on the SmackDown side of of this bracket. So SmackDown, overall a very good SmackDown this week. A lot of, like I said, a lot of focus on the King of the Ring matches. It has been a very, very nice tournament so far. I've not been bothered about any other storylines apart from who's going to win this tournament, and all of the superstars who participated had wonderful matches. I've rarely seen any bad King of the Ring matches this year. So Yeah, that's it for SmackDown. We kicked off Raw with Drew McIntyre. So he came to the ring and he started talking about how CM Punk is running away and he's not able to say things to his face and beat CM Punk up. Uh, and he called out Damian Priest for being like a paper champion, and he was being his usual Drew self, right? So then when Damian came in and started telling stuff to Drew. He spoke a lot of things. Like it's about he even took it back to the time where Drew prevented Damian Priest from actually cashing in on Seth Rollins. So it's all on Drew that he's not the champion anymore. And it was a nice promo from Damian actually, and it was pretty strong. And a lot of truth, like Drew likes to speak, right? So Damien was speaking a lot of facts here. I think this is eventually going to set up the match with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. We still have one episode of the King. I mean, one Raw and SmackDown episode this week. So I don't think it's going to be on the King of the Ring. It has to be on the Clash of the Castle where Drew wins. I think this is the uh, thinking for a lot of fans. So I hope Drew wins again because I think he's a better champion than Damian Priest, and Damian Priest has had a decent reign, so it's not so bad as well. I would have hoped that he had like a defense in King of the Ring once, and then he loses it in the Clash of the Castle. But we don't know what's going to happen. How is CM Punk gonna be involved in this feud? So it's going to be very interesting. Can't wait for CM Punk to be back fully fit and have a match against Drew eventually, right? And again, very, very interesting about who's going to win that match or who's going to win this feud. So, yeah, I think after this segment, we had like again an awesome match in the Queen of the Ring tournament. So, Shayna Baszler and Io Sky both very good in the ring. Shayna Baszler, again, a huge fan, but she doesn't get pushed that much, unfortunately. But she had an awesome match over here with Io Sky, and like again, a lot of different moves used by both these athletes. But I think Io winning against Shayna was the right call, and Io progressing forward is nice because we need damage control to seem strong again, because I think they're losing momentum after losing their tag team championships and Dakota Kai being beaten all the time, right? So I don't like that fact. Uh, so yeah, Io gets the win against Shayna Baszler. Again, a very nice match to kick off the Raw. And yeah, so after this, we had a small little backstage segment where I think we are setting up stuff to happen within Judgment Day where Damian Priest gets kicked out and Carlito potentially replaces him. I thought this happens while Andrade came in. I don't know. Yeah, the Judgment Day seems just like a ripoff from the Bloodline, right? They're just trying to do similar things as the Bloodline. But let's see how Carlito plays a role in here, because I think we have so many factions in Raw that there's an LW feud with Carlito. He's coming into Judgment Day. This is a proper sort of too many moving parts type of situation, right? So, but yeah, but again, Damian Priest referring back to the time that Carlito cost the match against Bad Bunny over in Puerto Rico last year. So again, not sure how this is going to end. It seems like Damien is going to leave the Judgment Day, and then Carlito is going to take over, and then Damian Priest is going to be the babyface. But I don't think he's a good babyface. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what happens with the Judgment Day moving forward. So then we had another backstage segment with Chad Gable just sort of again just taking the mick out of all these Alpha Academy students, right? So he then set up two matches, Tozawa against Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn versus Otis later in the evening. But yeah, Chad Gable being heel is one of the best things ever which has happened. He's so funny. Then we had Gunther back in the ring after a while. So Gunther versus Kofi Kingston, another quarterfinals match in the King of the Ring. Uh, I was just thinking that Gunther is going to beat the hell out of Kofi Kingston, but to my surprise, Kofi got in a lot of offense here in the start. So he started beating up Gunther a lot. But then, as always, Gunther came up with his offense, and there are so many nice spots in this match. And Kofi is an awesome wrestler, so right. So this match was really really awesome, but I think they are pushing the ring general to get more submission wins as well to seem dominant. This seems like a normal submission move with which a lot of wrestlers kick out of, but then he's had Sheamus and Kofi both tap out to this, and before that even Xavier Woods tapping out to this. So the ring general gets a fine win and moves on to the tournament. My favorite to win the King of the Ring in Saudi, so he progresses to the semifinals. After this match, we had this segment where Ludwig Kaiser was just talking shit about Sheamus. So I don't know what we are going to do with Imperium, right? So Giovanni Vinci was pushed out. I don't know whether he's going to come back. Ludwig Kaiser seems to be not doing anything right now. So does he get into a feud with Sheamus now? So there's so many possibilities in Raw because we have so many superstars. So yeah, we'll see what happens to Ludwig. Then we had the squash match and the Alpha Academy storyline where Bronson Reed just kicked Tozawa's ass, right? So it's a squash match. So it's Chad Gable's storyline with Alpha Academy moving forward. Then we had this angle of the women's championship, right? So we have Becky now as the champion and Liv trying to get the title off her. But there's this weird angle developing between Lyra Valkyria and Becky, where they're friends, and we have Liv Morgan and Damage Control coming behind Becky Lynch. So we have this whole thing about Lyra and Becky being friends, right? So I'm not sure I like that much, but I love Lyra Valkyria. She has this awesome entrance which I didn't know about. The crowd were chanting along with her entrance, so she had a wonderful match against Zoe Stark, which was another Queen of the Ring tournament match. Zoe unfortunately is not being pushed like Shayna Baszler, again a wonderful wrestler, a lot of skills, but unfortunately only there's one winner and one loser, right? So somebody has to go through. But I think the push for Lyra Valkyria is right, but I think she doesn't win the tournament for me. So but she gets the win against Zoe Stark, and she moves on to the Queen of the Ring tournaments. After this, we had the other match which Chad Gable set up, Sami Zayn versus Otis. So I'm liking the whole Intercontinental Championship triple threat match where we have Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. So I think they are trying to get all these competitors playing with each other because there's going to be some sort of interference in that match with the Alpha Academy coming in and trying to help Chad Gable. Otis again is so funny, but then I think he is getting screwed by Chad Gable here. I can't wait for the time where Otis is going to get so angry at Chad and he fights back, and then that's the new feud between Otis and Chad Gable, because I think Alpha Academy is so awesome. Chad Gable is awesome. I want Otis to beat the hell out of him because he's treating him badly right now. So yeah, that's nice. Very interested to see who wins the Intercontinental Championship in the King of the Ring tournament. I want Chad Gable to win it, but I think Sami Zayn is going to win it. Let's see how it goes. Continuing on in the show, we had this continuation of this Becky Lynch feud with Damage Control, right? Seems a meaningless feud to me. And again, when it's Dakota Kai in the match, you know that she's going to lose, right? So we had distraction from Damage Control, and they just tried to beat up Becky Lynch. Lyra Valkyria comes in, saves the day. Then again, Liv Morgan comes and beats up Becky. So there's this whole cycle between these women going on. So uh, I don't know whether this is making Liv seem like a champion. I think she even though she seems like a good contender, I still feel like after Rhea Ripley's reign, we need like a very, very strong champion. And I think Becky is almost the only choice right now. So let's see who wins the Queen of the Ring tournament. And if it's the Raw bracket, then we have her win, I guess, right? But yeah, we don't know. It seems like Bianca is going to win the tournament right now. So I don't know if she's on SmackDown, so she doesn't win this. Uh, cool. So after that, we had similar to what we had in SmackDown for A Town Down Under, we had a number one contenders fatal four-way match for the World Tag Team Championship. This was a chaotic match. I love these kind of tag team matches where just people are just flying all over the place and they're doing all of these different spots, right? And especially with AOP and Creed Brothers being there, there's a lot of muscle, a lot of power moves here, and I love the Super Collider which the AOP do. They were and I love the New Cats Republic as well, and Tyler Bate doing his whole spinneroonie move against this Akam or Razor. I don't know who it was. But yes, awesome match. Again, we had Carlito interfering and costing whoever else was going to win, but I think Judgment Day won in the end, and then JD McDonough and Finn Balor, who is a new tag team now, but they win the tournament and they get the chance to face Awesome Truth, right? So the tag team division right now seems a little down for me. I don't like, they have split the championships, but not a lot of defense is happening and not a lot of matches. So I'm not aware of any matches on the card in Saudi Arabia, but it will be nice if there's tag team championships as well with these number one contenders in Saudi Arabia. That would be nice. So we'll also see if Carlito helping the team makes him closer to the team, and if Damian Priest is okay with this, and how is it all going to pan out for Judgment Day. This doesn't seem as interesting as the Bloodline story, but it is something of a copy from them and with similar patterns. So I'm not a big fan of this what's happening here. Moving on to the main event of Raw, we had Ilya Dragunov with Jey Uso creating an awesome match. I was so not sure who was going to win this match because on one hand I had Ilya Dragunov winning because I wanted to see Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther as the semi-finals, but I also knew that Jey is getting pushed within the industry, within the WWE, and then he would. I didn't see how he's losing unless there's some sort of bloodline distraction or something like this, right? Which didn't happen here. So Ilya Dragunov is so good in the ring. He has all these different moves, and I think the matches are as well are very, very Ilya Dragunov focused, right? So they had this awesome match, and I think Jey is becoming a wonderful wrestler, singles competitor. I like this when there's these two competitors just punching each other and there's this yeet chant. His entrance is awesome. His matches are fun. Yeah, he's not that technical of a wrestler, and there are better wrestlers out there who could probably give more matches, but Jey Uso is right now on the money, right? He's really, really good. So he wins the match and he sets up the semi-final with Gunther on the Raw side. So we'll have these semi-final matches next week in Raw and SmackDown, and we'll finally know who's going to be the finalists who face off against each other in Saudi Arabia for the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. So like I said, I mean, this week and the last few weeks in Raw and SmackDown has been all about the King and Queen of the Ring, and I've enjoyed these 2 weeks just because of the sheer number of matches, right? There's not been that many drama segments, but it's just been pure entertainment in terms of different types of wrestlers fighting against each other and we not knowing who's going to win, right? That's been the fun part over the last few weeks. So that's a wrap of this week's Raw and SmackDown episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed listening to this video. Stay tuned for more content on WWE and wrestling on this channel. Share your thoughts. Let us know who you think is going to win the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. What do you think of the new era of wrestling? And any other thoughts on wrestling? Like, what feuds do you want to see? Who's your favorite wrestler? And why you enjoy wrestling so much? So again, thanks, guys. Stay tuned. See you on the next one.